So we have been welding on the VersaGrip Glue cuffs to an EDSS urethane clog. And while this has been working, we feel like it's been kind of pinching his heels a little bit. So we're gonna try something that has a little bit more flexibility in the back of his foot and see how it goes. That's still on there, isn't it? There we go. Taking a minute to locate the external structures of the horse's foot to help me then find and locate internal reference points of the horse's foot can be really beneficial. So right now I just used a couple dots to locate the back of the horse's foot and the widest part of the foot, then doubled it and found my 50-50 ratio. I'm now marking the widest part of the foot and 2 inches forward from the widest part of the foot is where some horses like breakover, but mostly what I'm doing is just having some lines here to kind of see symmetry of the horse's foot. I want to know where the tip of P3 is, and typically on this size of foot, roughly about 1.75 inches forward from the widest part of the foot. Helps me know where that is located. Alright, so we tried a VersaGrip before with the screw-in rocker, but it ended up being too tall and this horse didn't like it. So we're going for a lower profile approach here. I've welded in a double nail pad. Check out my YouTube video on how to do this if you're curious. I had taken the time to pre-build a template for Charlie's front feet, and what that allows me to do is to build a shoe at home. And when I grabbed the shoe that fit the length of the template, it ended up being a little wide, so I went a shoe size down, which made it a little narrow, but it didn't have the length that I wanted. So I welded in 1/4 inch to the back of the shoe to get the length that I wanted, as well as the width that I wanted. So when I showed up to the horse, it fit like a glove. This shoe has built-in Freedom Shoe-like mechanics. It has a rolled, softened heel, and the breakover starts about the widest part of the foot. You can see at the front here that I've been able to soften the hoof wall, bevel it, and this allows me to pull my shoe back to meet 50-50 ratio from the widest part of the foot. The previous clog we had been using was slippery on the cement and grass, so while I've added in an extra double nail pad insert to make the mechanics of this shoe work well for this horse, I've also lost some of the traction needed. So I'm going to add some traction back into this shoe while still preserving the mechanics. So I need my buffer, glue, glue kit, tips, gloves, gun, popsicle sticks. You'll see what these are used for in a second. My shoes. Let's go. When using a hoof buffer to clean the hoof wall, make sure it is spinning in a direction that is going down the hoof wall. You can use the buffer to continue putting a little bevel at your toe and around through the quarters. Then go ahead and use your rasp to etch the hoof wall to add a rougher surface for the glue to lock into. And you do this from the heel to just around the toe pillar. Use a wire brush to remove any extra dust. If the foot is not dry, you're going to want to use a small butane torch to remove any surface moisture. Double up on your gloves. Mostly on your dominant hand. All right, so I've checked my fit. I like it. I'll start out with some field paste. And I'm going to put it in the commissures. Commissures mean common meeting place of two different types of tissue. And the sulcus, which is a groove of the same tissue. I'm going to use magic cushion to fill in the voids. Just kind of a gentle tapping helps push it in and it doesn't end up sticking to my glove as much. We have the swallow serenading us here. I love it. All right, so sometimes this can ooze out to the side, so I like to use a little paper towel. Have them stand on it. Get it flat, give them a break for just a minute. Once in a while you'll put on a shoe and let's say the horse wants to squirm around. You don't want to use set screws, but you want the shoe to stay in place before you start gluing. So what I will do is put a small amount of glue at my toe. Like here, I'm using gap filling. If the viscosity is a little bit thicker, I'm gonna spray insta-set on the foot right here. I have just a few seconds for that to be positioned where I want it. Push down on it. And now my shoe's locked in place before I start my gluing process, which is kind of a handy trick. Thank you. This is a brand new tube of glue, so I'm going to purge it and make sure that I have just a small amount of the white. The ratio is 10:1, so you want to make sure the white's coming out. There's a little bit of the insta-set on there. If you're worried about it with the glue process, a little bit of heat and it kind of just magically disappears. All right, go ahead and prime my tip. And I'm ready to go. I like to start at the bottom and work my way to the top. Beautiful aspect of this application is you really don't use a lot of this glue. All right, stretch wrap. To hold the stretch wrap with my thumb right at the heel bones and pull it. So I'm squeezing the tab in tight against the foot. And then at the very end, I'll make sure I can feather some of my glue while it's sitting up here.